All right, so these are our mains, our main bearings. You just want to try to make sure everything's as clean as possible. Laying on your back in the dirt, it's not the best way to do this stuff, but unfortunately, when you do an end frame, that's just what you're gonna run into. So you just try your best to keep it as clean as possible. So I'm gonna reach up in here and I'm gonna clean the bottom of the rod. I'm gonna try to push it up the cylinder a little bit. Then I'm gonna clean the crankshaft as well. So you just want to try to get up in there, pull it down from the top, that way you can clean, make sure you got no debris on it, and go back together. Alright. Now, so you got your journal. This thing sits a certain way in your rod. Some people will probably tell you to put these in on the top side. However, I was afraid of getting them damaged while I was putting the piston through. Alright, now just gonna push that up and bring it down to mate it on the crankshaft. So now that is somewhat mated. So now I'm gonna reach out here, I'm gonna grab the harmonic balancer. I'm gonna twist it best I can here, trying to keep everything pulled down tight. It's always better to have friends come help you do stuff like this. However, today I'm a one-man show. All right. This is where you really need to try to keep your hands somewhat clean. Now then, all right, we got our other bearing, and this is our cap. So we're gonna place this one in our cap. Just like that, get it set down where it's supposed to go, okay? Make sure it's clean. So I'm gonna try to rotate this a little bit further. All right. So now, when we go with our plastic gauge, and this is our plastic gauge, it's got numbers on it. Tells you what you're looking at here. So on this motor, you're looking at a clearance of 0.045 thousandths. I'm sorry, 0.045 millimeter to 0.127 millimeter. So this one goes from 0.051 to 0.152. 0.127 is the absolute max loosest it can be on this motor. So 0.045 is the absolute tightest it can be on this motor. This one is 5.1 to 1.52. So we're gonna put this up here. Look how much you need there. Just pull you off a piece, break it. And what I've been doing on the other ones is I'm setting it in my journal, okay? Set it in my journal, right like that. Try to make sure everything's somewhat clean. All right, so we'll spin this around. Maybe I can see it. You can see my plastic gauge there. So when you put your journal on, you want to be sure your cutouts here line up with the cutouts on the rod. So We're gonna try to get our journal up in here just like that. All right, now you're gonna put your bolts in. You want to be sure everything is sitting good in there. You don't want to force anything. You should be able to put these things in, finger all the way down till it makes contact. All the way down. Now, get your other one. Stick it in there in its hole, and this is finger tight as well. You should be able to put these things in by finger. You shouldn't have to. Some people will put a zip gun on them or an impact and run them down and get them seated before they torque them. So when you use your plastic gauge, you gotta put your plastic gauge in, run your bolts down, then you have to torque your bolts to the manufacturer's specification.